Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today. It is going to be a ZVZ on the map Equilibrium, the AI edition of course, so race doesn't matter too much as it's all about the programming. So we have got Caninana, except that's not Caninana, that's miniZerg actually. The sort of new coming bot, which I believe is made by another developer that has done Sharpie, I believe. So we'll see how it's gonna do up against Caninana, which is definitely a very good Zerg bot, and it's gonna be a ZVZ. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this one, make sure you go ahead and slap that like button like it owes you money. Subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, which is linked down below, and scream in the comments section saying more bots if you want to see more of these botcasts. And if you do want to support the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member. I'm thinking about setting a goal maybe, like that I'll try programming a bot or something if we hit a certain goal there. Whoops, my mouse died. My PSA of the day, Razer products can be a little finicky at times. And so we have got ourselves a spawning pool on the way for miniZerg, and then just a hatchery, so normal hatchery into pool, whereas Caninana goes for a very early pool in all of its builds. That's the approach the developer has taken to say, just survive in the early game and you'll be fine. We also have Caninana in chat saying Zergling 84 seconds into the game. I believe that was its time for making its own Zerglings, seeing as how miniZerg hasn't made any yet. miniZerg is now making some lings, but also getting up a roach warren, so potentially for safety, potentially for some aggression. We shall see, we shall see. All in all though, fairly even economies, fairly even openings. Caninana providing as a tag, saying Zergling burrowed, roach, queen. Not sure where the Zergling burrowed came from, seeing as how there's no Zergling upgrade. Maybe that was it doing math or something in regards to what it could potentially be facing. Saying Zergling burrowed, maybe it was thinking that the hatch was researching burrow. I don't know. Oh, pardon me, that's Caninana saying it was getting burrow likely. Pardon me, apparently these chat tags can confuse me as much as they can help me. We've got miniZerg chasing down an overlord of Caninana. Queens, very slow units. Unfortunately, overlords are slightly slower, so a queen can catch an overlord off of creep. And then we have got, yeah, burrow on the way for both these bots. We've got a roach warren out for both these bots, so we're probably going to see some burrowed roaches if I had to take a guess. And oh man, my mouse is just conking out again. I apologize, guys. Oh, click, 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 click. Okay, we're back. If that happens again, I'll have to give it the disconnect. Yeah, I mean, I do knock Razer products a little bit here and there, despite using them for about a decade. I find their keyboards are fine for the most part, but they do have it seems no matter the Razer product they have, I don't know if it's like it doing driver updates periodically, every now and then it'll just disconnect for like half a second. And when you're playing a game of Starcraft, that can be a bit problematic. So, let's see. We have got scouting lings for Caninana running in there into miniZerg space. And one of the things the bot author touted was that miniZerg was a macro Zerg. Unlike some other bots that focus primarily on cheese strategies, miniZerg trying to macro with the big boys. So a ZVZ against Caninana is a great test for that. We've got a lair on the way for Caninana. We've got a third hatchery on the way for both of these bots. All in all, it's a pretty passive game. And then Carapace is on the way here for miniZerg. It's also getting +1 attack, so 1/1 upgrades on the way. That's quite a big investment that we don't always see from these bots. Definitely is a strong macro statement though, so I'm excited to see that. And there definitely are games that are won or lost depending on upgrades solely when it comes to bot versus bot games. If this game is going longer and macro, there's going to be lots of trades, so the upgrades could really help out in the long run for miniZerg. Caninana is getting up the faster layer, however, so we'll see what it's going to do with that. Potentially roach speed. It's also getting up a faster 4th base. miniZerg maintains a drone lead. Caninana getting up the faster 4th. All in all, it really is a very equal game. If we look at the supply, it's literally neck and neck. So, nothing too crazy happening yet. 6 lings have died on each side. Presumably, the poor sacrificial lambs make that 7 as miniZerg trying to get into the main base. So interesting, I believe, is this scouting behavior or harassing behavior? It is 3 lings getting in, so they run in. Yeah, they try and get a drone, so a little bit of harassment program there for miniZerg. I love to see that. Unit management is one of the big hurdles when it comes to programming a bot, no doubt, because you got to program all the logic of a StarCraft 2 player, all the decision making when it comes to controlling units, and sometimes you end up with things like this. Roaches that just dance and dance and dance as they sit on top of this burrowed Zergling under there. We've got Caninana got Overseers out. Do we have Overseers out yet for miniZerg? We have one, and it's slowly moving across the map. I guess this is why miniZerg has been unable to expand. Caninana has definitely won games in the past over preventing its enemy from expanding. So miniZerg, gonna need to get an Overseer over here immediately. I was just thinking Overseer over here. Say that 3 times fast. We've got Tunneling Claws on the way for Caninana. miniZerg, no such upgrade yet. However, it definitely is going to have a big upgrade lead as it's already got the 1-1, but then it's heading into +2. I'm excited to see if it goes for +2 Carapace. I really enjoy seeing bots with big upgrade leads. And we do have miniZerg completely clean up that harassment there. Although there is a Changeling still running back and forth, kind of blocking this hatchery, and it does actually get denied again by all the unit positioning. It's going to try again, but yeah, look at this. Changeling for Caninana potentially causing problems, and then miniZerg's own units blocking this hatchery as it tries to send out another drone, so miniZerg does eventually get that hatchery up. Not too big of a delay. Of course, the Ling itself caused most of it. So, Caninana, that burrowed Ling strategy worth $1 million because, like programming your units, programming your Overseers to tie up with your units so you can kill those burrowed or invisible units is a very difficult thing. miniZerg did seem to have the logic there, though, with keeping its units on that position, trying to expand again and again. It was good to see. Unit-wise, we've got a very significant army supply lead for Caninana. It's, of course, down on upgrades, so that's kind of expected. But miniZerg is quite far behind on supply, so we'll see if Caninana is going to be able to make an attack happen early on to make use of the supply lead, or whether miniZerg will be able to catch up, max out, and then potentially take a good fight because it has the upgrade lead. Caninana is getting its 1-1, so they will even up briefly, or not quite briefly, because +2 is on the way for miniZerg. We've got a Spire on the way for Caninana. It did say tag Corruptor, tag Broodlord, so I suppose that's what it's heading towards with its lair on the way. It's also getting Neural Parasite, which is an interesting choice when it comes to its ZVZ. There's not really too many uses for that. I guess maybe like Neural Parasiting Broodlords in a crazy ZVZ, but that's not something too commonly used in ZVZs. Looks like miniZerg does have a bit of a hard time dealing with these changelings of Caninana that are just hanging out here. I guess they are quite on a mission to block hatcheries, so that's some really cool behavior from the developer of Caninana, realizing how much value you can get out of blocking hatcheries. Now miniZerg's potentially in a bit of trouble here, because Caninana's moving out with a higher supply. These changelings, though, they're huge, absolutely huge for Caninana, potentially blocking miniZerg from expanding ever again. First the burrowed lings, which we see blocking yet another hatchery, and then the changelings also potentially blocking this hatchery as well. We've got roaches moving out for Caninana. The creeps are touching in this ZVZ now, so it's just going to be lots of units moving across the map very quickly. Then Broodlords are on the way. miniZerg electing to go for Hydras, getting up another lair, interestingly enough. +3 attack on the way, +2 Carapace about to finish up, so it will be heading towards another upgrade lead. And then going to be maxed out soon, so we'll see if there's going to be an attack or not. These units are still just dancing around. creepy and spread on both sides. A bit of an engagement going down. It should go the way of miniZerg with its attack and armor upgrades. Of course, not a lot of units dying as they're burrowing on both sides. Looks like miniZerg does not have tunneling claws for its roaches, just electing to plant them in place, whereas Caninana has got that cool retreat behavior. So has a single roach even died this game? Well, the answer is yes. miniZerg's lost 19, whereas Caninana has lost 1. So the trades have definitely been going in favor for Caninana, for the old boy, well, the older bot. So miniZerg not quite getting the efficiency that it needs, as you'd think, with those upgrades, but I believe a lot of those roaches did die earlier, maybe in some harassment or something like that. We've got miniZerg still only on 4 bases, unable to secure up a 5th base. Constant blocks on these hatcheries. Caninana, the bot, I think that does that the best. The Hydras are here for miniZerg, getting lots of damage done on these roaches, but they just retreat, they heal up, and then they get back into the fight. It's really almost cinematic, the behavior of Caninana. It's so swarmy-like. It's just mindless the way that it's doing it, but then also very thought out and methodical. So miniZerg not getting a lot of kills on units. It's killed 9 roaches to the 42 that it's lost. It's lost Hydras. Resources lost. Efficiency for Caninana is so darn good. miniZerg did eventually get up to space, so that is good to see that it is capable of cleaning those up. And it's still at 200 supply, so it's not in big trouble by any means. It is interesting to see just how much more efficient Caninana is, though, with this Roach Burrow retreat strategy. I do kind of wonder why not every bot mirrors that. As I think Caninana is, like, there's definitely other bots that do it, but Caninana definitely does it the most or the best. So miniZerg maybe is going to want to copy that. We'll see, as it just plants its roaches in place, which leaves them much more vulnerable to potentially die. And Caninana just pulls back the injured ones. Non-stop burrow retreat with that unlimited APM cruising. So a non-stop engagement going on here. So miniZerg losing out. I mean, it's killed 20 roaches to 60 now, so a 3-to-1 ratio. I think that's slightly better than it was before. Of course, lots of other units have died. Resources lost overall is massively in favor for Caninana, which is building up that bank. miniZerg does have another base up, though, so this game can continue on, potentially to later techs that may improve the Blue Zerg's fortunes. It's also getting melee upgrades and adrenal glands. I'm not sure what that's for. It's got some lings out, and it's made a good number this game, I guess, just for harassment. Caninana has dealt with that pretty darn well, though, as, I mean, it's not lost a single drone this game. Supply-wise, miniZerg is starting to fall behind a little bit. It's got a decent economy still, but there has been some harassment as it's lost 18 drones. It's not really replacing them, just making lots of units. Caninana is splitting up its army. It's got an attack moving towards this gold base. It's got an attack pushing the front. And, yeah, shout out to miniZerg for being such a darn good Zerg bot, but I think it's just going to run out of steam here as the trades are not getting any better. It's going to be losing this gold base, it appears. Like, miniZerg is sending a few a roach out here to defend, and it does buy itself a little bit of time, so it's definitely got good unit management. Maybe not, and really, who knows, maybe if it had the better cost efficiency with the roaches, maybe it would be able to stand better against Caninana. I really liked the early upgrades for miniZerg, and it is still staying alive. Caninana's got a 10k bank, though. A Greater Spire is done. We've yet to see any Corruptors or Broodlords, however. There's one burrowed roach hanging out, and an Overseer. Oh man, this could be where miniZerg is losing some efficiency if it's got 10 or 8 Hydras just hanging out, trying to catch this Overseer. So that's a bit of a bug there, I suppose. You really only need 1 Hydra or no Hydras on an Overseer. This roach is being a pain, and that's like 20, 30 supply Hydras or 3 supply. You cannot see that there. You have to be on the larva screen. I believe they're 3 supply, so that means that, of course, Caninana, maybe they're 2 supply. Anyway, Caninana losing a lot of supply and therefore efficiency. With that, I'm not sure how long that has been going on. And it's just so many little things going on this game that is really doing Caninana well. It's got one Broodlord morphing in, kind of the finisher in a way, as there's no anti-air for a miniZerg. And this replay was submitted on the SC2AI Discord by the developer of miniZerg, I believe. So that is really cool to see that the bot author actually sent in a replay in which their bot loses. Of course, some bot authors will send in replays that only their bot wins. So great to see miniZerg. Definitely a good Zerg. We'll check its progress on the ladder. And also, I did see that SC2AI.net, guys, was where basically the home and the backbone of the AI botting community was, like, they host all the games that are played out, like they hosted this game on their servers, that kind of thing. They were requesting some donations, so if you are in the SC2AI Discord, you can check that out. And, yeah. Spine crawler on the way for Caninana. Like, there's been little bits of harassment for miniZerg. It's just not killed off a single drone. I suppose that's just because Caninana burrows its units. Like, there's been lots of harassment attempted. All the Lings, I think, for miniZerg were harassing, but Caninana just burrows them. Gets an Overseer over to deal with this one harassment. The unit management for Caninana is so darn advanced. And, pardon my observing if I happen to miss a few things this game, as there's just unlimited things going on this game. Yeah, look at that, though, for Caninana. A burrowed roach, it immediately gets an Overseer over there, whereas miniZerg doesn't have, well, isn't necessarily doing that as well as it could. It is losing its natural, losing all of its spaces, though. Notably, we do see Pneumatized Carapace for Caninana, so those Overseers can react and get on top of the units quicker. I think that may be something that all Zerg bots need to incorporate. miniZerg, though, running out of resources, running out of hope, definitely not running out of creep tumors. Winning the creep game, as it just kept spreading creep all the way down over here. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this one, hit that like button, subscribe, join the Discord if you're not already, to get notified whenever we do tournaments, things like that. Caninana trying to catch up in the creep tumors, spreading lots of creep. And I'm gonna have to cast both some more miniZerg and some Caninana games, as Caninana is just so darn good, and miniZerg is obviously looking pretty promising as well. Don't quote me on this. You can click on all the bot profiles on sc2ai.net. I'm not sure if miniZerg was machine learning or not, because it was made by Sharpie, by the developers of Sharpie, so I'm just clicking on that. Okay, it was written in Python, so no machine learning or anything like that, I don't think, but it is a macro Zerg, which is always exciting to see. I'll keep an eye on it. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. Bye-bye.